to OTD. My name is Adam Arduna. This is my mom, Gina, and we are sitting outside. We've got some great things we're going to talk about today. It's a beautiful day, actually, outside, and we're going to just dive right into what we have. And our first topic is actually going to be about an all-pro running back, LeSean McCoy, and some of the things that he got into over this past week, and kind of what's conspired from him and his camp, and really what took place for him and what's been going on in the headlines. And so really it's just kind of a tough subject because we don't know all the full details.
Right, fair enough.
You know,
fair
but
enough.
for the most part, you know, this is a hot topic because, you know, he's in trouble, and he's been traded from Philadelphia to Buffalo, and now he's back in Philadelphia, from what we've been told, to
in the off season.
This is all off season, but he was back in town, and he was hanging out with some buddies at a nightclub, and what happened was, I guess he was arguing with the bartenders for a certain bar service or bottle service, if you will.
Okay, now you gotta stop, because you have to explain to the masses what bottle service is, because some of us don't know.
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah, let's say what that is. Yeah, so bottle service, you know, if you're someone that likes to go out, or if you want to be in the clubs or bar scene area, bottle service just means, hey, you know, you pay X amount of money for VIP treatment, meaning you get, you know, a little section of the club or bar to you and your party or your group of people that you're with, and they serve you certain alcohols or a certain amount of bottles that you would request, you know, when you order.
Now, I'm sure it depends on by the club, but do they bring you the bottle, or you just say, hey, I'm going to get 6 drinks of Patron, or every time you ask for Patron, they bring it to you till the bottle's empty, or do they actually bring the bottle to your table?
And it really is kind of a case-by-case thing, depending
on
the bar or the club that you go to. It could be, you know, hey, you get 6 bottles per bucket, or you get unlimited amount of
XYZ liquor.
Yeah, brand of alcohol.
Clearly, I should know this because I'm a VIP in the club when I go out for girls' night out.
Right, yeah. You and your girls' nights, you know.
Well, in fairness, you know, we've hosted a lot in my former life. We've hosted a lot of celebrities doing lots of different things in the club, but I really left that up to the promotions people. I never really got to involve. So I hear bottle service. Correct. I'm the money end of it. But, you know, I hear bottle service, and I don't know what that is. So
sure.
Apparently, he's in the VIP section with his friends,
back
at home in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And something happens with bottle service.
Yes. And we don't know exactly what
took
place. I guess there is a video, but, you know, there's always hearsay, you know, he said, she said. We don't know exactly if, you know, if they were supposed to serve a certain amount, or again, you know, we don't really know.
But something popped off where LeSean McCoy was unhappy, or someone in his party was unhappy with the bottle service they were either promised or paid for.
Correct.
Or whatever.
Yeah, there was complaints there, and so from that there was an altercation, apparently.
This is not funny. But
it's not funny, yeah, but it is funny because it's like, you know, when you're someone that high profile, you know, why would you want to put yourself in that position?
What are you arguing over bottle service? Here's how I would handle this. I am Gina Repass. I'm out. You can keep your club, you can keep your raggedy bottle service, and I will go somewhere else where people respect that I'm in the place. Right. Why are you fighting over bottle service?
LeSean McCoy has probably made so much money he could buy the club. I don't even understand what the argument is there.
Maybe it's like after, you know, here's the thing. When you first walk in the club, not like I would know personally. Let me quit front. I would. If I walk in the club and I feel good about myself, I'm important, I feel great with my girls or my group of friends.
Your crew or whoever you have. Yeah.
You want to be treated well. Even if you don't have VIP, you want to walk into any establishment and feel treated well.
Sure.
After, if you don't get treated well right at the beginning, you might leave. But after you've had a few drinks, you know, my favorite drink, everybody knows I'm a Patron girl. Sure. You know, after a few rounds of that, your common sense is not what leads you anymore. Now all of a sudden that ego starts leading you, and you want what you want. And for some people, if you put money out and you're not getting what you were told, what you paid for, that can lead you to not make the same decisions an hour or two into the club that you would have made 5 minutes in the club.
Absolutely. I mean, I know from my own small experiences, you know, there have been times where, you know, certain people should be on a list and they weren't on a list, and so you may be upset with you know, the doorman or door guy or the list person.
And they get it the worst. Tell the truth. The poor person standing there with the list always gets the brunt
because
of it.
they're the guys or the people up front of the club trying to determine who's getting in, who's not getting in. So they're the first ones that take the hits primarily. And so I know it can be tough sometimes when you're out, and like you said, alcohol plays a huge part in it. And so, you know, tempers flare and things happen. And it's unfortunate in this situation because, you know, he's a high-profile athlete and he's a football player. He's a franchise running back. He did a lot of really good things in Philadelphia. Now he's in Buffalo, and, you know, there were a lot of hard feelings about that, how that went down, and that's a whole nother subject. But, you know, he was coming back home to just, you know, be with his friends and the people that he loves. And, yeah, you know, some bad stuff happened.
Okay, well, here's the setup. Well, let's talk about what the bad stuff was.
Sure.
So clearly he's in the club. We've established that.
Right.
He's there. He didn't get something. He was promised something about bottle service.
Right.
An altercation breaks out. And LeSean McCoy allegedly is actively involved in the altercation. And two of the people who are on the other side of the altercation are off-duty Philadelphia police officers. Now, again, I don't know if they were off-duty working as bouncers in the club, doing security in the club, if they were off-duty and the altercation broke out and they jumped in to help. We don't know, but they were off-duty Philadelphia police officers, and I don't know who you want to say was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but my understanding was they got the worst end of it.
Yeah, from the reports that are being said, one of the officers apparently is still in the hospital or is still being treated for his injuries within the hospital, and so therefore, you know, it must have been pretty bad. And from some of the other reports, you know, LeSean had to, you know, get his lawyer, or he had his lawyer get involved as well. And therefore, you know, if lawyers have to be involved, you know, it's something pretty serious.
Good.
Yeah, it's never good. That's not
I
something
have a great
you want.
lawyer, but in general, it's just never good.
You don't want to have to, when you have to bring in the attorneys, that's not something that you want to do. And one of the advisement
of the lawyer.
the advisement of the lawyer was to actually turn yourself in, and so that's pretty tough when you have to think about the whole overall picture of it.
Yeah,
having to turn yourself in, you beat somebody up so bad that they're in the hospital.
And they're a cop.
And on top of that, they're an officer. That's not good. That's not a good look. It's not a good mix.
And you know what's really sad? What's lost in all this is what you just said a minute ago. LeSean McCoy is a beast running back.
Yes.
We were all upset. I think all of Philadelphia was upset when Chip Kelly let him go. You know, he was killing it there. He did great in Buffalo this year. He's a great running back. Well, great. Some people are saying there are other running backs.
I would quantify him as he's a top 5 running back in the NFL. He's been one of the best over the last 10 years to play the game. He was a great leader for Philadelphia in that locker room. He led the charge in a lot of ways, and he still has a lot of great production over these last 2 years with Buffalo.
Absolutely. On the field, LeSean McCoy is not hurting you. How about that?
Not at all.
But that being said, no one's talking about that now. As a matter of fact, now you give all your haters an opportunity to tell you how good you really weren't.
It's tough.
You know, it really is. I was going to say this about having a lawyer is like having a gun. You have a gun in your house. You don't want to have to use it.
Correct. That's a great way
So whenever
to put it.
you have to get your lawyer involved in something, it's already the cat is way out of that bag.
Right.
It's just not a good thing.
Well, you know, you can have your own judgment about it, you know, but at the end of the day, you're a public figure and you're a high-profile athlete, as we've been saying, and whenever you're in the news for something bad like this, it makes it really hard to try and defend whatever's going on, because now it's, you know, again, like we said, you know, he said, she said,
Court of public opinion is already swayed against you.
Exactly.
That's just too bad. Now, I'm going to wrap this up. My final take on this is I think athletes, anybody who's a celebrity of any kind, should be able to go out, be in public, be celebrated, have fun with your friends. I totally get that. But you must always remember that your life is not, the fact that you're getting VIP treatment means you're separating yourself from other people, which means you're not going to get away with the same stuff everybody else does. You can't pop off at every bartender, bouncer, or club service person, because it's going to come back to you differently. You're VIP or not, so act like you're a very important person and behave yourself.
Yeah, and just handle yourself the right way. And it's once again unfortunate. We see this stuff happen all the time in the news, especially with high-profile athletes, and you just hope that at some point in time, you know, you can move past, you know, these, you know, types of behavior and, you know, your group of people that you're with. And so, you know, hopefully he can learn from this and, you know, be better from it.
Well, and let's hope the cops are okay.
Yeah, you never want to see that stuff.
You never want to see somebody
hopefully,
beat up.
yeah, I hope that they're okay and that, like I said, they can all move on from this. All right, well, there you have it, folks. Thanks for watching. All right, I thought that was pretty good.
That was
pretty
good.
good.
And here's one that you can use.